Have you ever heard footsteps above you, even though no one lives upstairs? Because what I'm about to tell you still keeps me awake at night. I found this story on Reddit years ago. The original post disappeared only a few hours later. Some people say the author deleted it. Others believe someone forced him to. The story began with a college student who moved into an old apartment because it was the only place he could afford. The building was isolated, old, and strangely quiet. When the landlord showed him the apartment, he said something strange before leaving. "If you hear sounds from upstairs, ignore them." At first, he thought it was just an old building making noise, but on the third night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., he heard something dragging across the ceiling. Then came footsteps. Slow, heavy, barefoot. Tuck, tuck, tuck. The problem was, he lived on the top floor. There was no apartment above him. The sounds continued every single night at the exact same time, 3:17. Eventually, curiosity defeated fear. One night he grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and stepped into the dark hallway. At the end of the corridor, he noticed a narrow staircase leading upward. He swore he had never seen it before. At the top was a rusty metal door. Written across it were faded words, "Do not enter." Right then, he heard movement above the door. Something was up there. He slowly climbed the stairs. Every step made the building feel colder. When he reached the top, he realized the door was already slightly open, and from inside, he could hear breathing. He pushed the door open. Inside was an abandoned attic filled with broken furniture, hanging wires, and thick dust. But then he noticed something terrifying. There were fresh footprints on the floor, bare footprints, as if someone had walked there moments ago. Then, suddenly, bang! A loud noise came from above him. He looked up and saw a tiny hatch in the ceiling, leading into the darkness above. That's when his flashlight began flickering. And then, everything went black. Total silence. Until a voice whispered directly into his ear, "You're not supposed to be here." He froze. He couldn't breathe. When the flashlight came back on, nobody was there. But the footprints had changed. Now they were facing him. He ran downstairs and locked himself inside his apartment. The next morning, he asked the old building manager about the attic. The old man went pale. Then he quietly said, "Years ago, a homeless man secretly lived up there. One night, he disappeared. But people still hear him walking." The manager showed him an old newspaper clipping. It said an unidentified body had been found in the attic years ago. And the date of death? Exactly the same day he moved into the apartment. That night, he decided to leave forever. But at 3:17 a.m., the footsteps returned, this time faster, running. Then suddenly, silence. 3 knocks came from the ceiling. Talk, talk, talk. His phone vibrated. Unknown number. The message said only one thing: "Don't look up." But he did. And slowly, the attic hatch above him began to open. Inside the darkness, 2 pale eyes stared directly at him. He left the apartment that same night and never returned. But according to the final update on Reddit, sometimes at exactly 3:17 a.m., his phone still rings. No caller ID, only breathing. So tonight, if you hear footsteps above you, maybe don't check.